Hey family, how you guys doing? Welcome to Phie.Love Intuitive Conversations. I hope you guys are good. Yeah. If you like my content, please do like, share, and subscribe. And yeah, if there's any negativity, if there's any hate, please do keep that on your side of the street, okay? It won't be acknowledged. So, family, in this video, I'm being guided by Spirit to talk about us getting in touch with ourselves, right? And letting our inner man know that, that it's relevant and important. Letting yourself know by getting in touch with yourself that you're relevant and important. Most people walk around in this life, right, and they don't even know how to acknowledge their own existence. They walk around like robots, unconscious and distracted and chasing the next thing that grabs their attention on the outside of their vessels, right? And at some point in your childhood, or when you move into your teen years, you tend to disconnect with yourself, and your whole life becomes about the outside world. Your whole life becomes about pleasing everybody. Your whole life, your behavior, your thoughts, what you dedicate your energy towards is about, becomes about pleasing the outside world, becomes about fitting in, becomes about, reacting to whatever triggers you on the outside, whoever triggers you on the outside, whatever and whoever demands your attention, whatever you've been programmed to believe you don't have, or that you need to have, or that's going to help you be something better and be accepted in your world, right? Direct and focus all your energy towards whatever you've been programmed on the outside to believe your progression, your idea and energetic direction of, the energetic projection and its direction towards whatever you've been told your projection, your progression should look like, right? English never loved us. So when you hear me saying what I'm saying, are you able to recognize how you've probably gone many, many years and not really fully acknowledged yourself, not really fully allowed yourself to, feel relevant, to feel acknowledged, and to feel important and recognize yourself as relevant and important? You've got the part of you. I've spoken about this in another video where we have, there's the ego and the personality part, and behind that is like it's our sub, I don't like saying subconscious, let's say it's our soul, right? And you, in this world, you live out of your personality, you live out of the part of you that is, malleable to the outside world. And the inner part of you, the part of you that somehow exists behind that personality part of you, that, we need to find a way to actually merge, right? But we can only do that when we actually acknowledge the inner part of ourselves as relevant, as important, and as if it actually exists. Most people don't even know how to tap into it, recognize the part of themselves that actually exists. They think it's just their personality part, just the part that reacts to the outside world. Where when you actually start aligning to your inner part, your soul part, right? You no longer become reactive to the world. You move according to the part of you that's connected to the higher realms. So, how can you actually, others might wonder, well, Phie, where do I start? How do I acknowledge myself? How do I recognize that I haven't been acknowledging myself? How do I begin in acknowledging all the places or the areas of myself that I've been very focused in aligning to the outside world? I thought this was me. You can start by writing down all the things. Be open, be real, and be honest, okay? Sit quietly with yourself. Take a Sunday afternoon. Take a Saturday afternoon, a Sunday morning. Sometime when you're quiet, you're relaxed, and you can ground yourself. You don't have anybody around. And just write, okay? Write down all the things, pay attention to yourself. Acknowledge yourself. Start by telling yourself, oh my goodness, I'm sorry. I didn't even know you were there. I forgot you were there. And write down everything that frustrates you. Just write it all down. It doesn't matter. Everything that frustrates you, everything you feel that you're not aligned to, all the things that you feel that, you're doing for other people, all the things you put your energy into, whether it's your job, whether it's your family, whether it's your wife, even if it's your children. Throw out all the ideas and the programmings you have around your morals and what you should feel, what you're not allowed to, or what you're not allowed to feel about responsibilities that you have in your life. Throw out the window all the things that you've been told, you're wrong if you think this way and feel this way, or have these thoughts, or say these words. Throw it all out and write it down. It's just you and the paper and the pen. Write down what is frustrating you. Write down what irritates you. Write down the things that you don't want to do, but you do them anyway. Write down who pressures you. Write down what you do, but you don't feel like you're aligned to anymore. Give yourself attention. Acknowledge yourself. Write down the things that you don't want to do, that you wish you didn't have to do. And don't judge yourself, just write it down. And you don't have to do anything about it, but acknowledge it, acknowledge yourself. You're programmed to reject all these things that you just do blindly. Areas of your life and the decisions you make and where you've been coaxed and programmed into, just submitting to the outside world on the outside of you, regardless of how it makes you feel, regardless of whether it's your responsibility or it isn't. It's not easy to be a man who admits. You don't have to admit it out loud, but maybe you're a man and you've had children out of wedlock because of, things that life happened. Okay, life happened along the way. You've been programmed to feel wrong, to say that, you know what, I wish I didn't have these children. You've been programmed to reject yourself and those feelings that are actually real, that are true. They're the feelings that the inner part of you, your soul, goes through and that your soul feels. Those are the things that ignite irritation, that make you lash out on the outside, but because you've been programmed to ignore it. They're programmed to not acknowledge, to not recognize, and to feel shame. The shame and the programming isn't going to make it go away or change the reality that it's there, right? But sometimes acknowledging it, allowing your inner man to feel heard, to feel seen, makes a difference. I wish I didn't have these children. I understand I have a responsibility now, but I wish I didn't have these kids. The baby mama whose baby daddy, life happened to her too. And she was programmed, she fell into the programming of, needing to, believing that she would find her stability and attaching herself to a man through a child. And the man goes off and he actually falls in love with somebody else. In her mind, she believed that, oh my goodness, okay, well, if I have his child, he's going to choose me. He won't have a choice but to choose me. Fallen into the trap of the delusion that a child is going to keep a man in place. That a child, sorry, my tummy. That a child is, going to have her in the position of having the upper hand over somebody else's free will and how they position and move around in their lives. When he chooses somebody else, when he finds a way to make life work for him and move where his soul actually guides him to go, she is programmed as the baby mama in society to not be allowed to express, and she's programmed to feel shame, to actually admit and say, I wish I had that man. I wish he chose me. I want what somebody else has. Programmed to deny themselves. Deny yourself. Write those things down. The things that frustrate you. Say that now, if you, as that baby mama, you begin resenting your child. Write it down. I resent my child. I do. Because I thought that all of this would turn out differently. But I gave in to things in society that seemed to make sense at some point. I gave in to my urges. Write all of these things down. Acknowledge yourself. Acknowledge yourself. What are the things that you do that feel like a chore? That you do might not even be your responsibility, but you do them anyway because you've been told it's the right thing to do. Be accommodating, be polite, be generous, be forgiving. Do the right thing, but all these things that you're made to do oppose you, oppose your inner man, oppose your own true alignment, oppose where you actually need to be in your life, oppose you choosing yourself. Write it down. Acknowledge yourself. Don't feel wrong for saying, I wish I didn't have to do these things. I don't want to do these things. What have you committed to at a point in your life where you were less evolved, less knowing, less understanding, more reliant on, the advice and the opinions of people who came before you, and now you're living a life that was guided by other people, doing things, committed to things, bound to things. All these things that you're told are part of growing up. It's life. Admit them. Write it down. Admit it to yourself. Acknowledge your inner man and how your inner man feels about it. Don't be ashamed. What do you blindly do? What don't you question? How are you just, taking on things and having many things in cycles in your life, just open and unclosed, open and incomplete. And instead of completing them, you shove them to the side and get yourself involved in something else, and down the line these things you have incomplete become nightmares in your future. Who do you have in your life? Who have you put onto a pedestal? Who have you been programmed to put onto a pedestal? Older family members, uncles, aunts, mothers, fathers, people who make you override yourself, people who make you reject yourself, people who believe they have a say over your life force and your energy and how you move your life around. You respect them, you drop everything because you've been programmed. If this person speaks, if this person calls, they suddenly take priority in your life, and who you are and where your inner man is and what it is you have going on in your life suddenly falls to the back. Admit these things. In many cultures, I know, people are programmed to suppress this kind of stuff, programmed to feel shame, programmed to feel shame for neglecting what they've been told comes before them, what they've been told to respect, how they've been told this is how it goes. Molded and manipulated with shame and guilt. The guilt manipulation, right? So, where are you submitting to the outside world and opposing yourself and neglecting yourself? Write all these things down, and once you've written them all down, it's a wonderful way to also get started on your healing, because you have everything down that you don't like, that frustrates you, that you do, that you wish you didn't have to do. All the things that you think have actually control over you, your life force and your behavior, and where you focus yourself and your decisions and your energy. What are the things that are actually pressuring you, that you're focusing your mind on, because those are the things you've been programmed to believe, you need to prioritize and have in order, when really a lot of these things are not even about you. A lot of these things are other people's business. So it's definitely something to think about, huh? Anyway, family, one last thing. Start learning to deprogram yourself from reacting and responding to the call of people on your attention and your energy, right? When you can start deprogramming yourself from that, you start moving into a place where you have command and you take charge over your own energy and what it is that you give into and what you respond to. You start recognizing, where you are, where you haven't been in control of your own submission to the outside world and the demands of others. It may be difficult in the beginning because we're programmed to respond to people, calling on or demanding on our energy. And we're programmed to want, to feel needed when people actually call on us and our energy and for our attention. But we don't actually realize how, unconsciously submitting to all of that has a tendency to drop our boundaries in other areas, right? So try and recognize all these things in your life, write them all down, and you don't have to act on them, but acknowledge it and acknowledge yourself. Acknowledge where you just reject yourself, where you don't allow yourself to be relevant, where you have your inner man feeling, unacknowledged and unimportant, right? And as well, where you have these people who you've placed on pedestals in your life, have been programmed to place on a pedestal in your life, where you unconsciously have them in a position of, being more worthy than your own balance, than your own peace, than your own sovereignty. All of these things. Where do you have others having power over you? That also unconsciously brings in frustration, unconsciously triggers that part of you that, makes you unconsciously feel like you're unimportant, like what you have going on is not, as important to the outside world, and also you, because you neglect yourself and you just give out and give in to the outside world, right? So yeah, I hope this has resonated. I'm going to pull a card and let's see what we can pull on to support our conversation. I'm going to pull today from the Trust Your Vibes oracle deck, okay, by Sonia Chuket, and see where Spirit can support our conversation or give somebody who's watching our video a nudge in a specific direction, okay? Excuse me. Let's see. May I please have one card? One card, please. Thank you. We got see the solution and let go. I'm feeling guided to take them both, okay? So, by writing everything down, it helps you also see, sift through things and see the solution to where you have, where you've got your life a little lopsided, where you're focusing too much energy on things that, where you could actually be directing that energy towards yourself, acknowledging yourself, and aligning your decisions and your energy to your inner man and according to how you want to live your life. When you actually start engaging the question, when you actually start engaging the question of, when you actually start engaging the question of why do I do these things? Why am I afraid? Why do I just give in? Why does this person have this power over me? That's you starting to heal, because you're actually starting to look at the parts of yourself that, the parts of yourself that are wounded or that are in lack or that are being neglected. And you start moving them into balance. You start aligning them to your inner man and to what works best for you. and no longer allow those areas of yourself to be, controlled or violated by the outside, and just have you be drained and just an open vessel to whatever is going on in your environment, right? And once you recognize it, just let it go and allow yourself, as I've said in my last video, once you let it go, allow yourself to embody and move into your new energy. Okay? So for now, I'm gonna just read in the book from I'm feeling guided to just read from See the Solution. Okay, let's see what the book has to say. It's number 46. Number 46. There we go. See the Solution. Your vibes not only help you tune into the flow of life and provide guided feedback about your soul's direction, they also broadcast your thoughts and feelings, which act like magnets and attract back to you the equivalent of what you send out. Masterful sixth sensory beings work out their imagination muscles daily by visualizing exactly what they want. They focus on solutions rather than problems and constantly strive to improve their ability to observe them. In their mind's eye. Your guides advise you to do the same right now. No matter what you're facing, know that there's always a solution. And as well, by embarking on this exercise, you take the time to actually focus your attention on the areas where, where there could be problems in your life, where, where you can take accountability to make a change in not engaging your outside world in a specific way anymore that is in opposition to you and what it is that you want. It helps you align yourself to living a life that is aligned with what you want and not have you at the mercy or, in submission unconsciously because of your programming and your fear and your lack and, the ideas of responsibility and being accepted that have been programmed to you and placed onto you from the outside. In fact, practice seeing as many as possible. The key to this practice, seeing perfect solutions in your mind's eye. Why should I do this? Okay, yeah, sorry. No matter what you're facing, know that there is always a solution, even if you can't see it immediately. The key is to practice seeing perfect solutions in your mind's eye. In fact, practice seeing as many as possible. The more solutions you can visualize, the quicker you will attract the best one for you. This is a proactive use of your vibes and makes life much more exciting. I hope you see what I mean. So yeah, I think that supported us nicely, right? You will start learning, bit by bit, be patient with yourself. Show yourself the love you deserve. Acknowledge yourself in your inner man. And don't be ashamed. Don't be ashamed to admit the things that you feel and that you have going on inside you that society has told you you're supposed to feel shame over. Because if you can't admit them, you can't deal with them. If you can't look at them, how are you supposed to actually, feel them and figure out a way to bring balance and let go and release? And bring that balance out into your physical world as well. Where are you scared? Where does it bring pain? You have to investigate these things, okay? Don't be afraid and don't feel shame. Especially if it's just you and the pen, okay? And the paper. Anyway, family, I'll see you in the next video. If this has resonated, do please like, share, and subscribe. And yeah, See you. Bye.